So I says, yo, haha, it's all in the words.
Hey yo, what's going on, man? What's going on? Alright, I'm watching a series on Netflix called Raising Dion. Alright? And it's a cool little series. Um I don't know if you've seen any of my videos before, but I've explained that I don't like stupid shit. I don't like stupid movies. I don't like how writers, write stupid shit and for the actor to perform it out. All right, but then on the same note, even when I see something that starts to trigger me, I still like to watch it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? I hope you understand what I'm saying. I like to finish it all just to see how it ends. All right, so I'm watching Raising Dion, and I'm on the second season. And one thing that keeps reoccurring that I honestly hate is the lies. It's the lies. Yeah, fuck, it's the lies, man. Um, oh shit. This is one of the clubs that I work at, and after this video, I'm gonna go show him some support. But anyway, um, I DJ on Second Life. This is Second Life. But anyway, here it is. The focus is around a single mother and her child. And she's scared of the things that might happen to her child. And out of that fear, she holds back information. Um, the whole series starts when the child is 7 years old. All right, and at 7 years old, a lot of kids develop mentally, emotionally, physically. You know what I'm saying? Differently. All kids kind of develop differently. We seem to go through the same stages, but we hit them at different times. All right, so I keep seeing this parent lie to her child, but at the same time, I keep seeing the child lie to her parent. And also in the series, you got a whole bunch of other people lying to each other. So I'm like, man, here's another series that, or another TV show, another piece of entertainment that could be a whole lot better. And it's just fucked up that they got so much lies in it. It's like, I know that it's supposed to be entertainment, but I also know that a lot of people pull some sort of reality out of the shit that they see. They I've seen people form their personalities and different traits based off of what they see on movies, TV shows, or whatever. And I do believe that the stats show that for these different producers. So I'm just like, and just the analytics, the algorithm, the all the stats. You know what I'm saying? It's like these people behind the scene, they do stats and studies to find out who they're targeting. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all consumers, and so they want to get as many of us as they can. So it's like I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, man, all I mean, not I was gonna say all they're showing, but it's not all they're showing. But a big part of what they're showing is how you get over on somebody, like how a parent gets over on their kids, or how their kid gets over on their parent, or a coworker gets over on another coworker. You know what I'm saying? It's just I would think that I'm watching something on TV to get a break from reality. And it pisses me off when I can't find a break from reality because they don't know how to. I'm not going to say they don't know how to, but they just refuse to take so much humanity out of entertainment. So let me flip the direction of this video that I'm making now, and it's just one of those things where I know that parenting is hard. I know that a lot of people didn't plan their I just know people didn't plan ahead when it comes down conceiving a child and being ready to teach their child or to teach themselves how to get through this life. You know what I'm saying? And the best way that they can. And when they say the truth will set you free, it's kind of like it's okay to say that you don't know something if you have taken the time to really put your thought into it, and if you really don't have the answer, you know what I'm saying, you don't know, you just don't know. And what I'm getting at is, if a child does something or says something, and the parent at that minute just don't know how to approach their child the best way possible, I think that a parent should be honest with their kid and be like, man, look, what you just did or what you just said took me for a loop. And I don't want to fuck up your head. I don't want to damage you emotionally, physically, or mentally. So I need a minute to figure out how I can help you and I with this situation. A lot of people don't have that type of patience. A lot of people will look at that or, that idea and be like, that's some cornball shit. But I was raised in a child should be seen and not heard environment. I was raised up in a lot of contradiction, hypocrisy, all that type of shit. And it damaged my social etiquette, I guess. The way that I approached people, the way I acted around people, you know what I'm saying, the way that I held myself, the way it's like when you point one finger at somebody, you got three fingers pointing back at you. So out of everything that I'm saying, I got like three fingers pointing back at me saying that, even though I want to accuse the way that I was being brought up, there's so many different ways that I could have figured out how to be more sociable. And ignorance is not always bliss. That's why I think it takes about a good 30 to 40 years for a person to really learn who they are as an individual. And bringing kids into the world adds on a additional individuality that you're responsible for. Not only are you responsible for yourself and your significant other, but you're bringing a child in. So for you to play your role, you have to be well rounded. You got to be wiser than you have ever been in your life. It's kind of like saying, you know, before you bring a child in, part of planned parenting should be like practice. Yeah, I remember when I was in school, we had home ec, we had healthful living, and we had like one or two other type of classes, you know, that was based on child development, you know what I'm saying, developing into, you know, a young adult type class. And they to get you, to help you learn how to be responsible. I remember you either had to carry an egg for a week or two without damaging it, or a bag of flour, you know what I'm saying, like a 5-pound bag of flour, or a 2.5-pound bag of flour, change the diaper, you know, you had to use diapers and all kind of stuff like that, or whatever. But it was just, you know what I'm saying, a means of teaching a kid about responsibility and other psychological bullshit. But as an adult, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like, yeah, why not revert back to that type of practice? Now they have dolls that are so human-like. You know what I mean? They are set on timers of whenever, you know, from when you feed them to, it's like a whole timing of digestion to which, you know, they poo or piss. You know what I'm saying? You gotta change the diapers, use the powders, use creams for rashes, heat rashes. They got dolls for that shit now. You know, technology has changed. But the moral thing and the ethic thing and just being non-toxic, you know what I'm saying? You can corrupt a person. You can fuck up a child's development. And so when I see this shit on TV, it just triggers me. Because I know it happens in real life. I know it happens in real life. It happens every day. All throughout the day. But when I go to watch something on TV, it's like I don't wanna watch that shit. So if I could hold a seminar, or if I could talk to people, you know what I'm saying, like face to face, in a way to where it's like I'm not teaching you some shit, but I'm helping you think about some shit that you might have already thought of, or you might not have thought of, and you just might not have perfected it. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing, that type of talk, that type of conference. My disclaimer for all these videos where I'm running my mouth and shit is that I'm not the smartest person in the world, but yet I'm not the dumbest person either. There's some research that I've done on things, and there's a whole lot of shit that I still need to do research on. what I need a person who's watching this, if you're watching this, what I need you to do is to question everything that I'm talking about. Do your own research on it and form your own opinion, and then share it with somebody else. You never know when somebody might be thinking about the same shit that you're talking about, or they might have thought about it before and they just didn't have anybody to talk to. And I know what it feels like to sit around and think something or think about something in a certain way, and no one else is thinking about that. No one in my vicinity, nobody, you know what I'm saying, in the same room as me or whatever. And they look at me like if I'm the weirdo. I know what that feeling is like. So, sharing is caring. You know what I'm saying? It's what I love about making these type of videos, because I don't care if I get one view. That could be one person that might be able to share their information, the same information, with somebody else, but they twist it. You know what I'm saying? They share it in the way that they know how to share it. They use the words in the way that they know how to use the words. Use words, you know what I'm saying? They put their own seasoning of the, you know what I'm saying, into the jambalaya pot. You know what I mean? Or the gumbo pot. You know what I'm saying? So one view can be extended to other people. It's like, what is that, 6 degrees of separation type shit. Look up what 6 degrees of separation is. I could be totally fucking wrong about that. But it's just word of mouth type shit. One view, you know what I'm saying, of this video could help out 2 or 3 other people down the line somewhere. That's why I think it's so important for people to share positive information, ways of solving issues and problems. I like watching interviews. It could be celebrities or whatever the fuck. Basically celebrities, because it's one of those things where if somebody has accomplished something, I'd rather listen to their up and downs instead of listening to somebody who ain't doing shit in life. Because I want to be a person that has accomplishments as well. And I am a person that has accomplishments as well. Okay, this thing about Second Life. Alright, if you see right here above my avatar's head, it's got Mr. Congeniality. What that is I formed a group for to send out notifications and messages to people that are in that group. And that group is for, the different events that I'm going to have. Because here on my land, I like to have some game nights. I like to invite people over so they can dance. Let me DJ, they dance. I got a pool, so we can have a pool party. I got a skating rink, so they can do some skating while I play music. Also got an area to where, I want to do poetry. And I want to invite other poets that's on Second Life, so we can have like a poetry jam. So with that group, whoever's in that group, I can notify them of when these events are going to happen and things like that. So you got different roles for your members that's in the group. And I'm the owner. My role is the owner. So the title that I'm using as the owner is Mr. Congeniality. If I had officers, people that help me out, they would have, I had to come up with a name for them. But for the regular members, the name that I put down for them is Padres Supporter. Padres Supporter. So it's like whenever they wear that tag, they're also, helping advertising me in a way, whatever. So what I'm getting at is me being accomplished is the fact that I've only been DJing for about 3 or 4 months. And in that 3 or 4 months time, I've made an X amount of lindens, which is the game money. I've also had people come to me and say, I heard you DJ, so can you come to my club? I've had people ask me to DJ special events. You know what I'm saying? So I've had accomplishments. I rent my own property, but I'm not ready to have events at my own property because I got so much different music that I want to play, and I want to be ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready enough to DJ at other people's places, and I will recycle the music, that type shit. But I am accomplished. So when I watch interviews, I like to watch people who have made several different accomplishments in their life. You know what I'm saying? So the point of me bringing up the whole thing of watching interviews is the fact that you got people who are being honest with other people. You got people that are sharing information that helped them in their success, and they're sharing the information that didn't help them. So it's like, don't go down this route, because man, I don't see too many people, making a come up by going down this route. And by saying all this, it goes back to my disclaimer of do your research on the things that you hear from me or anybody else, and then form your own opinion, and then share it with other people. Willie D and Scarface has a podcast called Ghetto Boys Reloaded, and they the video I was watching was an interview with what's that brother's name, Booker T, and Willie D had said that Chuck D from Public Enemy had tried to turn Willie D on to the internet. He was like, man, and later on down the line, there's going to be internet in everybody's house. And he was like, everybody's going to be receiving their mail through the computer. And Willie D was like, man, he was listening, but he just couldn't see that. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't really, he said that he just left it right at that, right at just the conversation. And then he noticed, like, maybe 3 or 4 years down the line, the shit that Chuck D was turning them on to, that information was happening. And Willie D was like, man, if he had investigated or did some research on what Chuck D was talking about, he would have invested money into internet or websites or anything dealing with the computer. And he said he might have been able to do what Mark Zuckerberg, whatever his name is, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Basically, I guess Mark Cuban. I think it's something like Mark Cuban, whatever, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, he did something as far as making an investment into something dealing with the computers, and sold it, and most of the money, or some of the money that he had cut from it, he was able to buy the Dallas Cowboys. No, not the Dallas Cowboys, but the is it the Houston Rockets, the basketball team, or Dallas Mavericks? Whatever team that Mark Cuban had bought. I forgot. Anyway, the point is that and you do your research on information that you hear, you might find an interest in it, and you might invest into it, and it might take you somewhere further. So whenever you do your research on something, form your own opinions on it, you know what I'm saying, and share it with somebody else, you just never know what the outcome is going to be, the positive outcome. So anyway, I'm about to circle all the way back to the beginning of this, and for the reason of this video. Lying to protect somebody is not a good thing. Being honest and being able to say that I don't know how I'm going to discipline you just yet, but best believe you're going to get disciplined for fucking up. I just need to make sure that I'm doing it the right way. That way I'm not fucking you up physically, emotionally, and mentally. Don't want to scar you for life. You know what I'm saying? That type shit. But it's hard to do the right thing. It's hard to do good. It's easy to just do some spontaneous shit and you might do some wrong. It's easy to do bad shit. But it's hard to do good shit, man, because it takes a lot of thought, a lot of preparation, a lot of actions to do good shit. But anyway, if there is a parent watching this video, I hope you're doing the best that you can possibly, the best shit that you can do for your child to become the best person that they can be as they're growing up. And there's a lot of people on YouTube that have a lot of good advice about parenting and individual growth. So I'm not the only one that's talking this shit. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta research this shit. You know what I'm saying? You might think that you are a good parent, but there's always room to improve. There's always room for growth. So I myself didn't want to bring a child into the world until I was emotionally fit and financially fit, spiritually fit, and had a partner that was my balance. You know what I'm saying? We were like on the same thinking terms. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? How are we going to, you know what I'm saying? And before we do shit, we make sure that we're just, you know what I'm saying, we're equal. Our thoughts are the same on it. There's, you know what I'm saying, if there's any doubt into making a decision, then we don't make a move until, you know what I'm saying, we both agree and we don't settle for bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that way we can both accomplish something for the greater good of our family and relationship and ourselves individually. Because we got to be able to sleep well at night knowing that we did the right thing. You know what I mean? Deals with, you know what I'm saying, having good morals and good ethics, good principles. You know what I'm saying, having a good spirit. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I got to drink me some water. And I'm going to get back on that TV show, and I'm going to get ready to eat something here in a little bit. But, you know, I'm your boy Podrey. And I like sociology. I like the study of people. I like the idea of people coming together in a community, you know what I'm saying, and prospering without the aid of city, state, or government assistance. It's fucked up that we gotta pay for water. When we get rain every now and then, we get groundwater, but there's other ways to create water. I'm gonna give you an example, then I'm gonna shut the fuck up, get off of here. Dig a hole, throw some leaves down at the bottom of that hole, put a cup, jug, bucket in the very center of that hole, cover that hole, make sure, you know what I'm saying, you cover all the edges, so that way, you know, all that vegetation will start to sweat under the sunlight. You put like a stone or a pebble right in the center, right above that bucket, so that way all the water that collects on that plastic covering will go towards the center of where that rock is, and of course the rock is going to be above the bucket, and those drops will fall down in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? I hope you have the mind to vision that. You know what I mean? They do it in the desert. They do it in the wilderness, and they do it in other places where people live. You know what I'm saying? It's just some of the basic ways of getting some clean water. And you will still need to boil it some, get it to a nice hot temp to kill any extra germs and bacteria, but still there's different ways of getting water. So I don't understand. I understand. I just hate the fact that we gotta pay for fucking water. It's crazy, man. That's one of those things where I'm like, yo, we gotta come together as like a fist. You know what I'm saying? Be like, fuck the city, fuck the state, fuck the government. Let's rely on each other without lies, without hidden agendas, without jealousy. You know what I'm saying? We want to lift each other up. And it don't matter who's up higher than the next person. We'll be proud and happy for whoever is rising to the top. Because whoever's at the top is going to pull the next person up with them. Because it's an agreement. You know what I'm saying? A spiritual agreement among people in a community to rise together. So I'm going to get off of here. Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good night. Hope you have a good morning. And I hope that I'm able to help someone see life in a different view that they might not have seen. Or I hope that I can help somebody, you know, be like, hell yeah, I've been thinking that same shit. You know what I'm saying? So what is that? Reaffirm a person's thought that might have been thinking the same shit that I'm thinking. Because man, I'm telling you, the more interviews that I'll be watching, I'll be like, that motherfucker is thinking the shit that I'm thinking. That motherfucker's on the same lines that I'm thinking. I'm like, woo, I'm not a fucking weirdo. I'm not the only one thinking this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, man, I'm passionate about this topic. So I'm about to say some other shit. I just found out that Kodak Black had paid rent for 28 families, 28 households. I think he paid their rent for up to a year, so that way they can use their money for other ways to be able to fend for themselves. I was like, hell yeah. Because me, I'm always questioning what these celebrities are doing with their money and how they give them back. And there's quite a few other people that have done charitable things. Alright, so that's my time, man. I'm about to get out of here. Y'all take care. Peace.